Hey everyone, HumziPlayz here, and this is episode review for Pokemon Sun and Moon episode 141, so let's get into it. So in terms of the battle, I kind of felt like this episode was a little bit slow, and it felt like Torracat was completely outmatched by Incineroar, and the strategies that Ash was using to try to counter Incineroar, and I was kind of disappointed we didn't see Torracat put up more of a fight, and we saw Torracat's bell kind of chiming, and I thought that that would play a big role, but that ended up kind of not even doing anything because the smoke started coming out of Torracat's bell, and that kind of fizzled out. That kind of shows that Torracat kind of had poor judgment, and he wasn't able to successfully absorb Incineroar's blast burn because it's just too much, it is too powerful for Torracat, and I kind of didn't like how they went with that route. I wish that Torracat would have been able to absorb the blast burn and would have been able to deal a counterattack to Incineroar while he needed to recharge from the blast burn. So yeah, I kind of didn't like how Torracat was just not able to really land that much hits on Incineroar, and they just kind of showed Incineroar to be on a completely different level. So starting from the beginning, we see everyone's reaction to finding out that Professor Kukui is the Royal Mask. We also see that Ash returns his Naganadel back into his Pokeball, so we see the blue and red here, so I think that means that he is taking back ownership of Naganadel because he did release it, but since we see blue and red here, Naganadel is back in his possession. And we also see Tapu Koko here, so I think that's kind of hinting at we are going to see Tapu Koko either in this battle or right before Sun and Moon ends, because I feel like they're going to have Ash battle Tapu Koko once more, because that's kind of how the series started. It started out with Tapu Koko giving Ash his Z-Ring, so I think it would only be fitting for Tapu Koko to be there when Ash leaves Sun and Moon. So we see Ash in Melmetal training. It seems like Melmetal has a hang of his body and using double Iron Bash. We also got this shot of Ash talking to Torracat. It seems like Ash understands how Torracat feels and how Torracat wants to defeat Incineroar. And I hope that this scene means something, and I hope that it means that Torracat will be battling Incineroar again and will be putting in more work into Incineroar. You know, at least put up a fight against Incineroar. Not like we've seen in this episode where Torracat can't even land really that much hits on Incineroar and can't even put up a fight against Incineroar. So yeah, then we get Ash and Professor Kukui shaking hands and looking at each other, and yeah, this is just building up to their battle. We do get a full scorecard for them, and yeah, I like that they brought this back because like for the previous battles they didn't really have a scorecard, and I really like it when they have the scorecard in the series because it makes it look more intense. And I guess we see Pikachu here on the bottom just because Ash has Pikachu on him and they just wanted to put Pikachu on there. Although I kind of thought that maybe Ash would be choosing Pikachu, but that wasn't the case. It seems like Pikachu also thought that he would be chosen first because he was raring to go in the battle, but then Ash is like, sorry Pikachu, I'm gonna use Torracat, and then Pikachu kind of looks disappointed here. So yeah, then we get Torracat versus Incineroar here, and then Torracat's bell starts to chime, and then everyone notices this. At first I thought this might sort of be hinting at its evolution maybe coming, or maybe like its fighting spirit, like it wants to really fight Incineroar and have a good battle with Incineroar, but I'm not sure exactly what this meant. And yeah, like I was saying in the beginning, it felt like the strategies Ash was using just weren't working, and I was kind of disappointed by that because like it felt like strategy after strategy, like Ash just couldn't get a hit on Incineroar. Like it kind of felt like Ash was kind of outclassed here. Like he tried using Flame Charge on Incineroar and trying to surround Incineroar, but Incineroar was just able to use Throat Chop and knock Torracat flying. In the beginning we saw Torracat try to attack Incineroar from behind with Fire Fang, but that didn't work out either. And then we also saw Incineroar use Blast Burn, and we saw Torracat absorb it, and I was glad that Torracat was able to do something, but then we saw Torracat not able to handle that much power, and then the smoke starts coming out of his bell, and Ash needs to recall Torracat because Torracat just can't handle it. And I was kind of disappointed by that because we see Torracat do these different things and Torracat can't even do anything. Like Torracat is completely outmatched, and I kind of didn't want to see that. I wanted to see Torracat at least put up a good fight. I mean, there's still time for Torracat to put up a fight, but I'm not sure at this level Torracat is at. It seems like Torracat can't do anything, so, you know, maybe Torracat is going to evolve, and then Torracat will be able to do something against Incineroar, but yeah, just from this short battle, Torracat can't do anything. So yeah, I was really surprised when Incineroar used Blast Burn because it had a different animation, but Professor Cuckoo said use Blast Burn, so yeah, this is Blast Burn. And I like how they show just how powerful it is by having like the intensity of the Blast Burn show on everyone's faces and everyone acknowledging it. Yeah, and it is Torracat's own choice to try to absorb the Blast Burn because Ash didn't know what to do, and Torracat was the one who took the initiative to try and absorb the Blast Burn. I like that we see after using Blast Burn, Incineroar needs to recharge, because that's how it is like in the games. And when we saw Alon use Blast Burn with his Charizard, we didn't really see his Charizard need to like recharge, I think. I mean, I think maybe sometimes we did, but this was more pronounced, and this made it more clear that Incineroar needed to recharge. So yeah, then Ash recalls Torracat and he uses his Lycanroc. And I'm glad that Lycanroc is able to land a good hit on Incineroar because Torracat didn't seem like he was able to do that much, and Lycanroc was able to put up a good fight. So yeah, then Professor Cuckoo decides to recall Incineroar. Out of all Pokemon, he decides to choose Braviary against Lycanroc. So I don't know what Professor Cuckoo's plan is here because Braviary is weak to Lycanroc, and a better choice would have been to use like Empoleon or Venusaur even, but he goes for Braviary, so I'm not sure what his strategy is. Maybe he's just trying to get a Lycanroc out of the way here, and he thinks that he could have an aerial advantage with Braviary. So overall, I hope that the next episode really heats up and the battle gets more intense, because this battle kind of started slow. It kind of showed that Ash was sort of out of his league. He is not able to match Professor Cuckoo yet, and I kind of wanted it to be a little bit closer. I mean, I kind of expected this too, but I was kind of hoping more of Ash's strategies would work. And I hope that since Professor Cuckoo is using some of his other Pokemon, we'll get to see more of an even battle, because Incineroar was Professor Cuckoo's ace Pokemon. And now since Professor Cuckoo is using different Pokemon, maybe it'll be a little bit more closer, and we can see Ash put up an actual fight against Professor Cuckoo. But yeah, this makes me think it's even less likely for Ash to win, because he's just not on the same level as Professor Cuckoo as a trainer yet. But yeah, those are my thoughts on this battle. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments below. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.